you're in a car accident or any kind of accident, you need help, you go to Trantolo and Trantolo. They are third generation into helping people here in the state of Connecticut, and they are just unbelievable at what they do. So call Trantolo today. It's real easy. I'll make it simple for you. Call all nines after you dial 844-999-9999, and they will take care of you, and they will get the money that you deserve for any injury or severe injury that you've been involved in. Obviously, there's a lot of questions today, but I think the one is the people that have the first pick in the draft, the Bears. Should they not only draft who they're going to draft, but then change their entire environment at Soldier Field and build a dome stadium for this Caleb Williams to play in?
I don't know if the Bears are just really, really dumb or soft. Like, come on, man. Take it from your friends in Buffalo. You have a home field advantage. Now, you probably don't recognize it because you never really have games in January. You know, that's typically reserved for playoff teams.
They used to in the 80s.
But when you do have a playoff game in the Windy City, oh, my goodness, that is an advantage, an advantage. And I've seen the mock-ups. Like, it is a pipe dream. I implore you to read the articles from Chicago and not the national stories, or especially not the NFL.com stories. This might not happen. Like, the ownership group is an older lady who doesn't know who she's going to give the team to when she passes. McCaskey. And
she's like 100.
Yeah, and like they're making a lot of these plans without the knowledge of who's actually going to have the say-so. They just bought a huge plot of land like 10 years ago in Arlington for a bunch of millions. What are they going to do with that? Now they're going to make it a practice field? I don't know. I think all of these mock-ups, and even like reading the Chicago Tribune story, their headline is "The Bears' Flashy Game Plan," as if like, you know, this ain't going to happen. This is just the Bears throwing flashy things in front of their fans' faces to either get mad about or to lick their chops on the future of possibly a dome stadium in Chicago.
She's the daughter of former owner George Hallis,
Right.
and she is 101, Virginia Hallis McCaskey.
God bless her.
They're just waiting for her to pass. So
she might give the team to the dog.
Who knows?
Kurt and I were talking about it earlier. That'd be a great
But like
sitcom.
you're saying, whoever she's going to give the team to is probably in their 80s, probably in their 70s.
Well, there's a group of children.
I know.
They're fighting like crazy.
These children are great-grandparents of their own kids. So, yeah, the people fighting over this, they're ancient as well.
Now, the mock-ups look great. I still don't see where people are parking. The current parking lot for Soldier Field will be turned into a green zone. A bunch of trees going to get planted. That's great. That looks awesome. They're going to demolish portions of Soldier Stadium. Again, this is all just speculation. This isn't fact. This is just what they want to do. They want to put baseball fields in there, Dibbs. Have a couple of baseball fields on the Soldier Field where it currently is now. They still want to have the venue possibly for outdoor concerts. But that's the other thing, is the real estate during the winter. How are they going to make money on this? And this is just what they're thinking. How will we make money off of Soldier Field in the winter without football? This is beyond a football conversation.
You definitely want the dome for that, because then you can have NCAA games there. You can have other tournament games there, concerts there. I mean, if you built a stadium like Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, hell, you could put it anywhere. You could put it in Antarctica. Have you seen that? When the roof closes, it's like a star. It's actually like a spaceship, and the star comes together. And it's just one of the coolest things I've ever seen. I actually just saw it last night when I was reading the story about the Bears wanting to build a dome. That's not a dome. That's a spectacular piece of architecture,
right,
the way that thing is. So if you build something like that, I'm down with it, because you could, ultimately play these games and be cold. But like, Minute Maid, some of these other places, they've done great jobs where it takes less than 20 minutes to close up these stadiums. And but here's the problem. Once it gets to the postseason, the league controls whether you leave the roof open or not. So I agree with you. Buffalo, New England.
Green Bay.
Listen, the Colts couldn't beat New England in New England because it's so damn cold, and they play in a dome. So
they have some pretty big concerts in Foxborough, and they get away with it.
Taylor Swift has made a lot of money in Foxborough. But no, I like the outside cold. Honestly, Chicago is one of my favorite towns to ever play in, and I would hate that they would not have a Soldier Field type field and go with the flow right now.
It just is far away from their identity. It really, their identity is blue collar. Their identity is having a hot chocolate or a coffee in your hand while you watch the game with vapors coming out of your mouth because it's so cold that the inside of your body is warmer
Some
than
of
what's
these
actually
towns
outside.
don't care though, man. It's who's
I
running
know.
those places.
And I could see them being jealous of Detroit. I could see them being jealous of Minneapolis.
I mean, Arizona and Texas is one thing because during the summer months it's 120.
You can't stand it.
You can't stand it. You need air conditioning. But like you said, football's a cold. I've already told you about this. Football's a cold weather sport. If you
That's what you guys say, football weather.
If you want it to be 72 degrees and optimum conditions, then you're ultimately spoiling the players, but you're helping the opponent.
I could see the argument of, it's going to be a multi-purpose facility. That's the words.
That's where they all want money now.
Exactly.
And what SoFi and LA, I understand it because they're putting more concerts and other stuff in there than they are actually football.
But Highmark in Buffalo has concerts.
I know.
Lambeau Field has concerts. Like, they still do these things. I just feel like the Chicagoan, you are getting soft, sir, if you want to put a dome for the Bears.
People from Illinois got to speak up, man. You're ultimately going to pay a lot.
That's the other thing. That's the other thing.
$2 billion in tax money. I mean, it's you got to be your money, so you should be able to at least say how you think it should be built.
Right. I think some of the
difference was
Kroenke
spent $5 billion of his own money.
Right.
Stan Kroenke, as much as people may hate him in St. Louis, you got to love him in L.A., built an unbelievably beautiful venue out of his own money. So if you're building it out of your own money, really, like the Atlanta Mercedes-Benz Stadium, dude, I'm still looking at this going, I wish I could have played in a place like that.
Here's another argument. Free agents. Does it attract more free agents with the dome than it does your outside?
Concerns.
Well, health concerns this. We got some natural grass down there on Soldier Field.
I heard that everything's supposed to go to natural grass.
Well,
aren't they trying to get the NFL and MLB back on natural grass?
They should. They definitely
Absolutely should.
But the rules are what they are now, and if you go into a dome, I bet you they're going to have that artificial stuff.
I hate that.
And your health might be concerned about that when your first knee pops. But I don't know. I'm from the area. I love Chicago. To me, it's blue collar. It's hard nosed. Get out of town if you don't like it and you can't hack it. That's why I love Chicago. It's survival of the fittest, baby. It ain't the warm, fuzzy 72 degrees air conditioned. Nah, you gotta want it. You gotta want it to have fun in Chi-Town.
I love playing outdoors, man. Some of those April games were cold or September, but for the most part, man, it was always gorgeous. Those, what did they pay? 46-day games at Wrigley?
It was beautiful the other day.
Dusty Baker hated that. He said it was a disadvantage having to wake up early. So everybody's always got a complaint somewhere. We don't. We're very happy. We're spoiled here at the Clubhouse on Main in Glastonbury. Come down, check it out. You're going to love it. You can throw some axes. Maybe you'll be able to choose who your team should draft just by throwing an axe at the board. We'll be right back on the Rob Dibble Show with Ben Darnell.